So yeah, let's talk about at first. So, as people know, I always make a joke about like me and my mom being around the same age. I make one joke about us getting a whooping in the same day, different things like that.
Yeah.
But when you found out you were pregnant, you were 14 or 15,
I was 14 years old.
and you were in eighth grade or seventh grade.
I was, I think I was going on to be a freshman.
A freshman.
Yeah, I was a freshman. Yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
All right. So at 14 years old, you realized that you're pregnant. How did that come about? How did you know?
It's the funniest thing. People may not believe it, but it's just like I knew right after the act.
Mm.
I just feel like God put it in my spirit that I was, and I was.
So
Right after the act.
so for the act, let's go into that a little bit,
Let's
but
go
not
into
go into that. Let's
Okay.
keep it PG.
Okay.
But you skipped school.
I did.
You skipped school and you went to my dad's house, which is Frank,
Yes.
and immaculate conception happened,
Yes.
and you were leaving,
Mm-hmm.
and something happened with the weather, right?
Yes. I'm telling you, it's miraculous. When I went over there, I don't condone cutting school, guys. Please go to school and get an education. But I'm just saying this was my story at the time.
Mm-hmm.
When I went there, it was sunny.
Right.
When I got ready to leave, the weather started changing, and when I took one bus closer to my house, it started snowing like a blizzard.
Mm-hmm.
A blizzard where the buses had like stopped. So, I have on this short dress because I think I'm the bomb.
Mm-hmm.
And these shoes, just like some regular shoes, I almost got frostbite for being disobedient
Mm-hmm.
and skipping school. And my family was looking for me.
Right.
And I put the whole family in a frenzy. Back then we didn't have cell phones and all that kind of
Couldn't
thing.
check Facebook, couldn't check the last
no
status.
no social media. So
Right.
yeah, it was a family frenzy. And thanks be to God, I did make it home safe. But yeah, I'm telling y'all, this is the truth.
Okay, so at 14 years old, you realize that you're pregnant. What's going through your mind?
I am scared out of my mind. First of all, because I knew that I shouldn't have been having sex. First of all, with someone that's not my husband. Let's just keep it real. And then I skipped school, so I'm just messed up all the way. So I don't know what to do at this point.
So how did you confirm that you was pregnant?
So I did not go to the doctor right away or anything like that. I got in trouble and all of that. I had lied about where I was when my family, when they did see me. I had lied all the way through.
Mm-hmm.
So I tried to hide my pregnancy. Crazy thing, but it's true. But my mother began to notice something different about me, as time went on, because you can't hide it forever. And so by the time I got any medical attention, I was about 5 months pregnant.
So at this time, did Frank know?
Yes,
He did know.
he did know.
Okay. Did anybody else know?
I may have told a friend or something at school.
Okay.
Yeah, I think I did.
Okay. So at 5 months, you go and you get medical. You confirm everything.
Mm-hmm.
How did you go? Was you with yourself? Did you go with
No,
family?
my mother took me.
Granny took you.
Yes, she did.
Okay.
Yes.
And what was Granny's reaction to finding out?
Oh, as me being a mother now, she was very devastated, that her 14-year-old daughter,
Mm-hmm.
which is a baby herself, is having a baby. So you have to look at it at all angles. Financially,
Mm-hmm.
Embarrassing the family, I'm sure, and we were heavily in the church.
Right.
So the church, embarrassing, just all of those things, uh, took a toll, on the family.
So, what are you feeling at that point? Like, Granny knows, of course, you're feeling embarrassed, and you have this crazy thing, life-changing thing that's happening, and you're still a child.
Mm-hmm. And my father was very upset.
Right.
He was talking about putting me out. And so your Auntie Riri came and, really came through for me because, as a big sister, she came through, she was telling, talking to my mother and them about it, and it was just saying, she needs our support, this, that, and the other, because they were devastated at the time, and hurt and, embarrassed, I'm sure, and what that meant for the whole family, because it just didn't affect me. So when we're making, decisions, it affects the whole dynamic of your life. So it was very devastating.
Yeah, and when I think about it now, like when we lived on Fairfield, we stayed in a 3-bedroom apartment, and there was a lot of us.
Yes, it was.
And then, your dad died, and then
Yep.
it wasn't like it was an extra plate because here I come. But yeah, as a father, like just thinking like, okay, well, we already is tight in this house. It's a lot of us. Peggy got her kids. She got 3. Well, no, Peggy had Ebony. She only had Ebony at that time.
She had one child at that time.
And she might have been pregnant with Clanisha or just had Clanisha, because Clanisha is like a year ahead of me.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so she probably just had Clanisha. And then there's you. There's my grandma. Was Uncle Junior staying there then?
No.
No. Okay.
No.
But Uncle Junior, he would come and he had kids and different things like that.
Yeah, he was in the Army.
Right. He was in the Army during that time?
I want to say he was.
Okay.
I have to confirm with him, but I could have sworn he was.
Okay.
Because when he left, I believe I was 9 years old when he left for the Army at that time. So I think so.
Wow.
Yeah.
I didn't know that.
Yeah.
So here you are now 15, and you are showing everybody knows. And one thing that I thought was interesting was, how you were treated at church. My grandmother was really big on church, and she grew up a Christian Baptist, and just I know I talked about it before, but she grew up in Shaw, Mississippi.
Yeah.
They migrated here to Chicago, and they had a family, raised a family. She started going to a church down the street called New Upper Room, and she did everything there, but she was mainly on the usher board, and I think she was maybe like the head usher or something. She was a Sunday school teacher, vacation Bible school, everything.
Yeah.
And and our family, they stayed throughout the building. So we had her sister stayed on the first floor.
Yeah, that was my baby.
And her nephew stayed in the basement. And the church that we were going to, it was kind of like a family atmosphere, you could say, right? So everybody knew everybody. And she comes up, and her daughter is one of the first kids out of that whole group that's pregnant.
Yes.
And she still had to go to church. Still had to figure that out. And one of the things I thought was interesting was that when the church found out, they kicked you out the choir.
Yeah, but not everybody treated me wrong or nothing like that. Not everybody.
Right.
But your father's mother, Verlinda, I miss her so much. She, she was one of them. She came and she, you weren't gonna say nothing about her son nor me, during our time, because he also went to the church too.
Right, and that's what I was
and
gonna get to.
and they, of course, was devastated. The whole everything that we was. So was Frank and his family as well.
Right.
But she, she would tell me, I'm coming to church. Ain't nobody going to say no, that kind of thing. And she meant what she said. You know what I'm saying? So I remember one time she was like, because I know a lot about all of them up in here. That kind of thing. So, You know, she, tried to kind of cover us, even though we were, going through those things.
Right.
It was a devastating time. And yeah, even at church, yeah, it is hurtful. You know what I'm saying? That, some people, are talking about your child is, whatever. You already going through a lot as it is. You don't need no added people to add more injury to what's already injured.
Right.
So
yeah, and I the interesting thing that I found about that I just thought was crazy was you couldn't sing in a choir, but they still allowed my dad to sing in a choir.
I'm not for sure how it all went. I believe too that my mom also was like, saying like, okay, you need to not do that, because we had like a children's choir, you know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
So my mom also was just like, okay, well, you just need to, sit back, whatever the case was. So, it was just one of those things, that rocked the church. It rocked us, and it rocked our church as well. But not just saying that I was the only one, but just at that time.